Alright, looks like an Illuminati got Burmese. Have chapter age here. Fast forward a few seconds here. Alright, so for this set, we have Illuminati, which is an ad that's been around for about 10 years now. Just recently updated for DE. The scripter is Aleph, longtime scripter, and has hosted a few times for our community. And we had, in the previous round, Illuminati had an upset against Corleone that we just saw. Select that he also is playing against another AI by Elias here. So I think we saw in the last round that Starko, Skautovic, and so a scout, and my guess goes for scouts, just like Corleone goes for skirmishers for this part. So we'll see how this game goes. So we got a Deer Arabia. So far, the first three matches have all been with Deer. We're in for Adi. Same thing for Scout. At a lumber camp. Scout and it's making this now. So we did have some ILTC time from Scout. I'm not sure exactly what caused that. I didn't catch it. But it wasn't Loom, so there must have been just a food shortage. Scout for a fair bit. So the second board's being brought in for Illuminati. First one had left. Something I've noticed, I think, I remember that for my AI, I kind of had the timing for the boar lures. It seems like the boar's probably been brought in closer on more recent generations of Arabia than it used to be. Because I've noticed that for my AI's boar lures, it ended up having a lot of food left before it brought its second boar. So that's just kind of something that I've noticed. So it looks like Scout had with the boar hunting. So got a sheep here that was exploring. Maybe Scout just recently cleaned sheep. Illuminati has not found these two sheep here. Just barely missed them, it looked. This first round of exploring as might be what's a... I'm not sure if this is like the default scouting. It looks pretty regular. The scouting to this end is probably some like a scout flank or scout mirror code. And it looks like Illuminati scout might be going back to finish exploring around the town. But I think the most important thing is that Illuminati did find the enemy TC. Alright, so Illuminati is going up to Beetle on 24 pop. Scout is doing the same. The Scout will be a minute ahead. We'll see if he can take advantage of that. Scouts are seeing each other here. And Scout might actually get this sheep that Illuminati hasn't found. Yep, so Scout is going to seal that sheep away. Alright, we got the stable placed down for Scout. No blacksmith yet, but we might see that soon. It's got enough wood for it though. Maybe second stable? I'm not sure exactly what that for. We'll see Illuminati village soon, but no barracks. Got a mining camp. So I wonder, Burmese, we've got a tower going up, so we might see a defensive strategy from Illuminati. Gathering stone, maybe it's going to be a fast castle and unique units that are run by. We'll see. Illuminati either goes for Koreans or Burmese, so those would be both civilizations that have a decent castle aging. Alright, so we got a market. Don't have the second feudal. Waiting for. Alright, blacksmith for Illuminati. Second defensive tower. Alright, so we got some scouts coming in. Scout. So I'll see if this second tower can go up. Right in. Now he's bringing in his own scout. Should be able to kill off this scout here. Also got this scout also aggressive and targeting the tower. I think this tower, yep, that tower goes up. So far, Illuminati's been able to defend the town. It's killed off 2 scouts so far, while I haven't lost any villagers yet. But we'll see how long that lasts if Scout can keep up this aggression. Alright, we got a barracks for... There's the strategy. We got a barracks for Illuminati. Castle Age coming. So I'm seeing this area right here seem to be kind of a prime area where Scout might be sending the scouts. So that would probably be that position near ocean. They could also just be trying to flee away from the tower. But the scouts have found a village here again. Yeah, it looks like Illuminati's has some code that doesn't send the villagers all the way to the TC, which is nice. So the economy isn't as idle as it would be for some AIs. We also got a spearman for Illuminati, but it's almost looking like an exploring spearman. So Illuminati at some point did lose it. I didn't see the villagers killed. But it's already killed off 8 scouts. Now he's up to 5 spearmen now. Towers are doing a good job of these 3 towers here, kind of making it so that it's hard for Scout to find some vulnerable targets. The only place it's really not defended is this lumber camp area. But Illuminati has a spearman. Alright, we got a TC up for, or getting started for Illuminati. So I think if Illuminati decides to build a tower or a TC here, that'll probably prevent scouts from being able to find any sort of targets, maybe except for this mining camp back here. We also got pipeline research for Illuminati. And we got this monastery, which probably is not going to be able to go up. maybe Illuminati will be able to find a new place for this once the villagers attacked. Not seen the Monastery Foundation yet. Oh, we also got these pikemen going forward for Illuminati. Down several scouts to off. They're attacking the stable. They're pikes, so they quickly kill off any scouts that attack them. Just down here we have scouts just going in and dancing and it's kind of the unfortunate part of just combining attack groups with retreat code from towers, is that if you don't really change up how they retreat, you end up just creating a loop where they retreat exactly back to the same spot, and then they try to go forward to attack the same target and retreat again. But maybe it looks like Scout has decided to turn off the retreating code, maybe because enough scouts were in the area. Got a pikeman here to defend from Illuminati. So it looks like this is going to be able to get beaten here. Illuminati was able to kill 2 of Scout's villagers, but it looks like the pikeman attack that was happening has ended. Maybe this pikeman's coming back to help. So we have a stable here, but not seeing any battle elephants yet. Doesn't have the food. So we're seeing scouts, military being a bit more aggressive here and not always fleeing away from the towers. So we'll have to see if that makes a difference here or not. Illuminati only has this 1 injured pikeman. So what's a bit unfortunate is that these towers are too far away from each other to be able to defend each other. We don't have fletching, but I don't think fletching would make enough of a difference for the tower range to be able to reach the towers. Illuminati is still ahead on villager counts. Let's take a look at the gathered resources here. So Illuminati was ahead for a while, and almost Starko got ahead a little bit. I think since the scouts have been more aggressive, the economy has been slowing down for Illuminati. So the monastery was placed down here, but it's not going to do a lot of good against all of the scouts. Got a second barracks. It seems like all of the pikemen training has stopped for Illuminati. I'm not sure why. And Scout has recently just gone ahead on villager count. So Scouts has 4 stables, each of them producing scouts. Got a new mining camp, which isn't defended, so this probably won't be the best spot to gather stone. I don't know if the food is being escorted away and preventing pikes from getting trained. Have to see. So we got a second monastery here for Illuminati, third monastery. There's enough gold for relics, or for monks. But I kind of feel like Illuminati's trying to save up for something, but just can't get there. Slumber can't place here, but even if it's built, it's not going to be. We've got heavy plow. Might not be the best use of resources here. There's been plenty of occasions where Illuminati could have afforded to train pikemen, but just hasn't. Siege workshop, but I mean, might not be able to sources for siege. So it's looking like Scouts got this game, but DCs are still up. All the towers are still up. So I'll see how both of you are feeling about the game at this point, if you want to keep on going, or if you kind of want to see the... I think we're going to see the Scouts slowly here at this point. With the right actions, with enough resources banked up, we got some wood. If that could be wood could be used for something, Illuminati could eventually get enough resources banked up to something. Even just like 3 pikes would be enough to probably drive off these scouts, enough to be able to fight back. Maybe not 3 pikes, but they definitely be able to do something against the... Alright, so I think I'll call it there. Illuminati won the first game, and then Scout won the second. Or no, this is just... sorry, this is the first game. So, Scout winning 1. Taking a look at stats here. Scout point way ahead on economy by the time the game ended. Same on military. There's the villain counter. Game stats. Alright, so taking a look at Arena, Illuminati goes for Bohemians or Bengalis. Starko goes for Hindustanis instead of... Alright, so let's start the game. Alright, so we got a chicken arena this time. Got scouts. It's like, what do you talk about here at this point? So I think Illuminati arena is its best maps. Really gets the chance to boom up and it's a good economy to get it in the game. But as we saw in the first round, it's vulnerable to early pressure. So we'll see if that happens to also in this game. So one thing I've noticed, just based off what we've seen from previous games, is that a lot of AIs like to use the mirror location, which I think would be right around here. So there's a possibility we might see units get sent to this area rather than to attack Illuminati properly. But don't want to declare things too quickly. Saw that Scout last game was able to make things work, whether or not the bug appeared last game. So we've got some livestock scouting from Scout. We've got the slumber camp. Meanwhile, Illuminati seems to be a mill first AI. It's got that down and strike the trees, and should be getting camp any second. As he gets up to bit late, but hi Promi, good to see you. Alright, so we got the lumber camp from Illuminati. I don't know if Illuminati likes to do an adjacent lumber camp or not, but I am noticing the gap one tile away from the forest. But we got the chicken mill for Scout. So far we just have one mill from Illuminati, but he's not really needing to go for the chickens or the large bushes quite yet. Got the second board coming in. It looks like Illuminati goes for an early loom, or at least might have gotten it at some point to make sure the TC wasn't idle. Scout has not gotten loom at this point yet. So that could potentially explain the resources collected difference at this point. Alright, so Scout's going toward the chickens. Nice, Scout has come back home. Let's see, I probably... Yep, I was able to scout space. And looks like same was true. Scout here. So it's been scouted, but we'll have to see if bug appears where they're not sent to attack it properly. Barracks for Scout, which will be up to feudal age in just a moment. Placing second lumber camp, this time adjacent to the forest. Disable, not surprising. Got a bear trying to attack Scout here, and looks like we got a Scout bugging out here, trying to go into the forest. Scout is going to die to the bear. Got a new scout coming out of the gate for scout here. Hopefully the same thing doesn't happen again. Alright, mining camp for Illuminati. He's one away from future. Alright, the scout is attacking the bear instead, but then going straight toward the same place. That's unfortunate. Alright, but this third scout is instead going forward and attacking these walls. Let's see. I wonder if this scout will join or not. Illuminati scouts being chased. Looks like Illuminati scout might be lighted in. Scout here. Watch and see what happens. So we got the typical fast castle buildings, market, and blacksmith here. Alright, looks like... Okay, the scouts have redirected to start attacking the gate. Scene. It means they're going for a night rush. I don't think I usually expect that from beginners. But shouldn't be a bad pick against scouts. I think the question is, will Illuminati be able to get enough knights prepared by the time that these scouts break in and start attacking the... We still don't have a Sable up yet. Alright, Sable is placed. So we got half Castle Age. Right, the blacksmith is placed for scout. Scout's on 2 stables. And just like last game, Illuminati's got a couple spears, so they should help. But they also might just allow the scouts into the... So far that hasn't happened. Alright, so one of the scouts is down. Alright, one of the scouts is in. But only one. And... right now... I think the real KD is just 3 kills, 3 losses for each AI. I wonder if Scout lost a couple villagers, maybe to... Oh, he lost a couple scouts to the bears. That's why there's a difference there on the KD. Illuminati scout using this gate, which is probably just an automatic thing, but it's good it was that gate instead of this one. This one was blocked anyway. Got 3 spears garrisoned here. Should provide some good defense if these scouts break in. But I think Illuminati is going to want to aim to get some knights soon. We got wheelbarrow started for Illuminati here. Still waiting on knight training. Wonder if there's some attacks that need to get researched first. Knight training will start. Instead, we're getting some +2 armor for spears, I guess. So these scouts are now into the economy. These spears get released. Spears, but we've got 6 villagers killed by scout. Seems like the scouts have decided that enough scouts have died and are fleeing from the TC. Oh, and Illuminati's changing to a monk strategy, which these are scouts, so I'm not sure if that's the best strategy, but we got some spears trained here. So we'll see if these 4 spears are enough to stop the attack, but they seem to be choosing a target that's far away instead of attacking the scouts that are closest to them. I wonder if Scout has some code to... Well, they're probably just attacking these villagers. Like Illuminati was trying to build a TC, so I think this TC will go up. I don't think... Spotted. Alright, so these spearmen are doing a good job. We'll clean up this fight here, it looks like, but more scouts are coming in, of course. I don't think Illuminati's got in squires at this point. If not, that might be nice against the scouts. That's also a fair amount of resources at this point, when you probably just want a few more extra numbers instead. Alright, so the second TC went up. Got a third TC placed here in the back. Yeah, is this Bohemians that have spearmen with extra bonus damage? I'd have to look here. Yeah, spearman line deals bonus damage, 5%. So that's coming in real handy here. So we got a monk being trained. So we might get to see... I think Illuminati might have some monk micro, so we'll see if that monk micro might be able to see here. So we got 2 monasteries. Illuminati is way behind on villagers. Lost 7 of them. So I think the villager disadvantage is just due to the economy being idle, like, or see training being halted. That could also be possible because of all that idle TC time. Alright, so at this point Illuminati is just going for relics, which will probably be a good long term. Alright, down to 1 spearman by training another. So good news is that spearman training is staying consistent this game so far, instead of being avoided like last game. Alright, so we got some conversions coming in. Okay, nice. Didn't see that you could save icon here. That's cool. I'm still learning Capture Age. It's the first tournament I've been able to cast on it. So we've got the scout conversions and the spearman training, but at this point Scout has a bunch of scouts. Streaming in, see. Just highlight the units here. So, unrelicing that monastery. So we're seeing a closer match this time. I think overall Illuminati is getting a good KD. You just look at the KD here, but Scout is definitely doing some economy damage, 14 village so far. And idling Eek quite a lot. But Illuminati is now ahead on villagers, so is recovering some of the, to get caught up on that economy side of things, which is good. We also have a Siege Workshop going up. And so I'm curious to see if the Siege Workshop will be able to come in handy. Scouts typically can do a pretty good job against them. But how many scouts do we have? We've got 7 scouts, all due to conversions from the... So I think those monks were definitely key here in providing some good defense. Scouts are supposed to counter monks, because when the monks are controlled well, they can do well against pretty much any unit, as long as they're not attacked by huge, massive numbers. My guess is that Scout doesn't have enough macro to be able to target them as well enough. Up to 12 Scouts now for Illuminati. Also got a ram. Trying to do something. Not sure exactly. Okay, we got rams coming forward, attacking stable. Alright, Illuminati is deleting the walls. I guess the economy's gotten big enough that it's time to expand outside of them. Not be limited by them. Got a lumber camp, which I guess is close enough to these. But it's not obviously the perfect place for it. Illuminati got pikemen, probably a while ago. Got 3 relics from Illuminati so far. Did Scout get any of them? No, Scout's still in field. Just trying to figure out where the other 2 are. There's one right here. Alright, so they're both here in the center of the map. For some reason this one is visible to me. So I think Illuminati might be using TSA here. This might be a bit too far at this point, TSA. Or at least it kind of feels like it's kind of risky to send these this far forward. But Illuminati does have the military advantage here, as well as good advantage. So everything is going Illuminati's way at this point in the game. Fourth relic was grabbed. This one's the last one. Gathered. It looks like a lot of scouts, scout cavalry are getting sent straight to the middle of the TC. And maybe it just was killed right before I was able to switch to target another unit. It seemed like it might have been idling there for a split second. Imperial Age has started for Illuminati. Got another monastery coming up. So this part of the wall is being attacked, I would guess, by a ram. Looks like we might start seeing Illuminati's army start pushing forward here. Gotcha, so the bug is not like going to position mirror, it's actually going toward the TC. I got it. Yeah, something that I've often felt is that an AI that has, like, full DC micro with monks without any compromises would be able to beat any other strategy as long as it could reach the point where it could train monks completely. The only reason why monks don't completely dominate AI games is just because human players can't control them all efficiently unless they use that kind of like control group trick. Assign them to all different control groups or something like that. I think there's a few tricks that human players can use to use them effectively, but it still requires a lot of setup and skill. Or AIs can technically like assign 30 monks to convert 30 different units. All with just some simple. So we got halbs and monks, rams diving into Scout's base here. So this point shouldn't be too much longer. Certainly by the time like this TC goes down, I think I'll call the game. Got capped ram for Illuminati. Got the +4 attack being researched. Alright, the TC goes down. It's the last TC for Scouts. I'm going to call the game here. Got a 1-1 set for both the eyes. Oh, and Scout actually calls the game for me. So, taking a look here. So, it's the eco population that's up here. So, Scout was ahead for quite a while, that then Illuminati was able to catch up once the monks started coming in. See the military numbers slowly rising. It looks like Scout was never able to get up above around a 20 military pop. Economy. So it actually looks like Illuminati's economy, just in terms of resources gathered, wasn't able to fully catch up until around Imperial Age. Let's head back to the game here. Flip through the